What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia and I am so incredibly excited for today's video. I'm basically just gonna be sharing my top tips and tricks for staying on track over the holidays. If you're vacationing, if you're out of your normal environment and your normal routine, just easy things you can do to help you stay on track as much as possible and continue working towards your goals while still enjoying yourself. Because I know a lot of times if you're on vacation, if you're visiting family, your health and fitness isn't really the priority, yet you feel so much better when you're focusing on your health and fitness. So these are kind of going to be little things that you can think about and incorporate into your day-to-day to help you feel your best and help kind of stay on track without being like crazy, you know? Hopefully that makes sense. And just to put things into context, the inspiration for this video is actually myself. So I'm speaking from my own experience. I recently went through a fat loss phase, and I set a goal weight for myself. I got down to that goal weight, and then my goal for the holiday season is just to maintain that goal weight that I achieved. And I actually just got home from being up north visiting my parents for Thanksgiving. I was there for a little bit over a week and a half. And like I said, just got home, just got off the plane, and I can confidently say that I have maintained the exact weight I was at. I feel amazing, and I just want to share my tips and tricks for how I achieved that without being like crazy over the holidays. And I just want to preface, my parents don't have a scale, they don't have a food scale. I was not tracking anything. We were eating out a ton, tons of charcuterie boards, like doing all the things, going everywhere, just enjoying the company I was with while back home. I was not hyper fixated on getting all my workouts in, hitting my macros, like no, not at all. Like I said, I am sharing my tips for having an enjoyable vacation while staying on track as much as possible and like keeping your goals in mind, but not over obsessing on them. And with that being said, we're just gonna jump right in to my first tip for staying on track, which really just boils down to listening to your body. I know it sounds cliche, and it's not really a definitive thing, but it's so incredibly important to learn how to listen to your body. It comes with time and experience. It comes with some trial and error. You're gonna have to really learn how to listen to the signals your body sends you, because your body is so incredibly intelligent. So with time, you'll learn how to properly listen to it and work with it instead of working against it. So that's my number one thing, listen to your body. Tip number two is to enjoy the rest and the change of scenery. A lot of times when you're traveling for a holiday or it's a vacation, your body probably needs a rest anyway. So why not kind of soak it up a little bit extra when you're vacationing, when you're traveling for different holidays? Like, that's kind of the point of a vacation. So enjoy that rest. Your body needs it. It'll utilize it. That's when your body repairs and rebuilds. And also enjoy that change of scenery. This may mean getting outside for more walks, taking hikes, like doing different active activities that aren't necessarily like workouts, but you're still getting a lot of movement in. Tip number three, I feel like is very relevant for holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and just days that are associated with eating a lot of food and like having big meals. And this is gonna sound kind of dumb, but it's just to eat normally. Like, it's really as simple as that. Don't skip your breakfast and lunch because you're gonna eat a big meal later that day. Like, just eat how you normally would. It's just like any other day. And even though the holidays are kind of like associated with overindulging and eating more than you're used to, and it's kind of become normalized to overindulge and eat a ton of food, like, don't make that make you feel the need to overindulge. Like, if you're full, you're full. Just eat normal. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's how I think of it. And I guess I should kind of clarify what I mean when I say eat normal. Basically, just eat whatever foods you want and eat normal serving sizes. Like, there's no need to deprive yourself. There's no need to overindulge and make yourself feel terrible and like make your stomach hurt. There's no need to be tracking every single thing you put in your mouth. Like, just eat normal servings, eat until you are satisfied, and you'll be good to go. And lastly, my fourth and final tip for staying on track would be to incorporate as much of your normal routine as you'd like and as possible. So if you want a very restful holiday, restful vacation, by all means, take advantage of that time and take that rest. If you're like me and you absolutely love fitness and exercising and getting daily movement in because that's what makes you feel your best, then incorporate that into your lifestyle. Even though you're in a different environment and on vacation and traveling, like there are still little things you can do here and there to get that movement in and still reap the benefits from it. But on the other hand, don't feel pressured to get every single workout in. Like a lot of times that's not realistic, it's not gonna happen. Don't feel pressured, do what you can and work with what you have. For me personally, the two things that I kept in my lifestyle while traveling were my daily outdoor walks and my training split. You guys know me, I absolutely love walking. However, walking is so much more enjoyable here in Florida. I always do longer walks here. It's always warm and sunny, but I still got my walks done in Maryland. I bundled up, I braved the cold, and luckily it was pretty darn sunny almost every single day. So that made it a little bit more enjoyable, but my walks were definitely shorter, typically like 2 to 3 miles max. However, we did walk a lot of places. We were walking into downtown a lot, so the steps did build up, which was really nice. And then the second thing, like I mentioned, my training split. I love my training split. It's pretty darn simple. I have 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, and for me that's very realistic and maintainable and easy to stick with even if I'm traveling. I just had to modify the exercises for the equipment I had access to. Like I said before, work with what you have, don't stress about what you don't have. Obviously, my garage gym here is way more advanced than my parents' gym. So I have squat rack, cable machine, dumbbells, kettlebells, bench, treadmill, like every piece of equipment you could possibly need in a home gym, I've got it. My parents do have a home gym. They've got dumbbells, a kettlebell, a bench, a treadmill, dip bars, like resistance bands. It's a great home gym, but it's way lighter weight. So while I was doing these workouts, I kept thinking about trying to make the lightweight feel heavy. So I focused on mixing up the sets and the reps and the rest periods to try and make the lighter weight feel heavy. And I can say, I definitely succeeded. Like those workouts were deceivingly hard, and you guys are actually about to see a full week of workouts, pretty much all dumbbell and resistance band only. And even though they were very different from my normal workouts, they were deceivingly hard. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop chit-chatting and let's get into a full week of workouts back home in Maryland, Monday through Sunday. Starting off strong with a Monday leg day, focusing on hamstrings and glutes. I warmed up with a 5-minute incline walk, then got into my first exercise. I started with these weighted back squats with a pulse. I did 5 sets of 15 reps, then moved into my first superset, which consisted of dumbbell reverse lunges, 10 each leg, making sure to push through that front heel to stand, and then also dumbbell RDLs for 12 reps. I did 4 sets through this superset, and on the RDLs, you really want to think about keeping your back flat, core braced, bending the knees as you send your butt back. Second superset consisted of these alternating one-arm deadlifts, 10 each side, and then I paired dumbbell staggered RDLs with those, also 10 each side, working through 4 sets of this superset. And then the third and final superset, I had to get a little bit creative. I did these hamstring curls using a frisbee for 12 reps and then 12 kettlebell swings. I also worked through this superset for 4 sets. Then I finished up with a 10-minute incline walk on the treadmill. Moving on to my Tuesday push circuit, I typically do 3 to 5 rounds through these circuits. I started with 10 push-ups, then I moved to the bench for 10 bench tricep dips to knee drive. I do 1 knee drive on each leg at the top of each tricep dip. After that, I move back to the ground for 10 dumbbell Z presses, sitting down, bracing your core, pressing the weight straight overhead. Then 10 dumbbell lateral raises, making sure to control the weight on the way up and also on the way down. Then for some core, I did 12 dumbbell overhead sit-ups, trying not to use momentum, but trying to just use that core strength. And then I finished up with 12 plank up-downs, moving from elbows to palms while keeping core braced. I like to finish up my push days with a 12-3-30 incline walk. Moving on to Wednesday, it was just an active recovery day, so I got outside for a long walk. Thursdays are my second leg day of the week, focusing on quads and glutes. Once again, I warmed up with a 5-minute incline walk, then got into my first exercise, which were dumbbell front squats, 5 sets of 15 reps. Then moved into my first superset, which started with dumbbell Bulgarian split squats, 12 each leg, pressing through that front heel. And paired with those, I did dumbbell sumo deadlifts, 12 reps, and I worked through this superset 4 sets. Next superset, I did slow and controlled dumbbell weighted step-ups. I did 8 reps on each leg, really thinking about keeping that weight in my front heel, controlling the step up, and making sure my knee stayed in line with my toes. Paired with those, I grabbed some dumbbells, placed them under my heels, and did some heel elevated dumbbell narrow goblet squats. Afterwards, I finished up with a 10-minute incline walk on the treadmill. That brings us to Friday, which is my pull day. I started with 4 sets of this superset, which consisted of 10 dumbbell bent over rows and 10 dumbbell reverse flies. I went heavier on the rows and then lighter on the flies. Second superset, I also worked through it 4 sets total. Started with these band deadlifts for 15 reps, then took it to the ground for 10 reps of these band seated wide grip rows with palms facing down. Moving into the third and final superset, also worked through it 4 sets total. I started with 10 each arm of these dumbbell renegade rows. Then I used that same dumbbell for 10 each dumbbell high plank openers. A great way to also use that core. Then I actually finished up with 1 set of bodyweight rows until failure, utilizing my dip bars. And then since it was an upper body day, you guys know I always love to end with a 12-3-30 incline walk. Saturdays are my second active recovery day of the week, and I ended up doing another 12-3-30 incline walk. And then Sundays are my actual rest day, so I just did a long walk outside. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I really hope you enjoyed seeing that week of workouts, and I hope you found these tips helpful and valuable. I know they almost seem too obvious and simple, but like I always say, if it's simple and easy to understand, then it's gonna be simple and easy to apply to your lifestyle. These are just the things that I like to keep in mind and I like to practice day to day while on vacation or traveling for a holiday, especially if it's for a long period of time, because it genuinely helps me feel my best and helps me stay on track, which in turn helps me feel even better. But keep in mind, a holiday is really just one day, like one day out of the entire year. Don't stress, don't put too much pressure on yourself, because that one day is not gonna derail all of your progress. I promise you. But if you do need some tips, there you go. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time.